Hello and welcome into episode number 98 of Pod by the Goddamn River. I am your host, Hogdale. I'm joined today by my two good pal amigo friends, Justin and Ryan Brady, my two co-hosts, my two pals. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Howdy, amigo. What's happening, partner?
Howdy, partner.
What's going on, boys? How are we doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Brady. How you doing?
Listen, it's not sunny, right?
Yeah.
But tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, right?
Mhm.
So that's exciting. Spring training getting close to the end, and that's exciting. So I'm doing pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah, man, 11 days out from opening day. We are so fucking close to real meaningful baseball games being played. We are in the final stretch of spring training. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited. I'm getting restless. Like, I at least have the new MLB The Show game to tie me over. You know, I've been streaming that lately on my fucking Twitch channel, having a good time. I also got this new microphone, which I'm very happy about. Boys, how am I sounding? Am I sounding good?
You're sounding so sexy.
Really
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah. Me and Brady on the same page.
100%.
The true test of the microphone is going to be when you go on one of your tangents, which you may go on later when we talk about some of these things. When you start like yelling like an animal, like you usually do, in a good way. Don't get me wrong; it's a very endearing trait. Because I feel like your last microphone, it wasn't really picking up your yelling a lot. So I feel like when we get you going, I want to see the true test of this microphone.
Capture the moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, man, fucking, here's the deal.
What's
like,
the deal?
We've been gathering some show topics here because, listen, we can't do the prediction show yet. That's next week's show. You fucking animals. How dare you, like, wanting, we're foaming at the mouths for these goddamn predictions.
Seriously.
Well, guess what, you little fucking whore? You're not getting them until next week.
Yeah,
so stop asking.
Keep in your pants, all right? Keep in your pants.
Yeah.
Contain yourself. Jesus Christ. Like, you got to show a little bit of decorum.
Yeah, act like you've been here before, all right? Come on.
Foaming at the mouth for what reason? Stupid.
Now, funny enough, because our first topic today is defined by something that, like, I'm not having any decorum over. I'm very upset. I'm annoyed. Because here's the deal. The Red Sox media, you know, they do this thing, and like every media does this, where like the team will start to put out like the mini fucking, you know, preparatory punches of like things that they're about to do, like what the team is about to do. So,
yeah.
You know, Lou Merlone, you know, very smart individual guy. We have a lot of love and care for. Good guy.
Love Lou.
Large
friend of the show. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, brought to you by the On the Monster. All of you guys.
Me and Brady are on it, man. We're on it.
That's funny. I saw you guys like pounding away on the fucking keyboard, and I'm like, oh, is there something in the private conversation? And both of you are making faces. Oh, yeah. Brought to you by Beyond the Monster. Before
Beyond the Monster
fucking appears out of the shadow realm and executes me with a goddamn desert eagle.
Yeah.
As you do. Back to where I
anyways, Lou Merlone, yeah.
Yeah. Or so rudely interrupted.
So sorry.
Yeah. Lou Merlone put out basically like, you know, hey, you know, don't be disappointed if the big three aren't on the big league roster opening day. Basically. You know, it's like, you know, it's fine, guys. If the big three aren't in the big league roster opening day, it's okay. It's okay. It's not okay. Listen, I've been putting out, like last week, I think is when I was starting to hammering home, you know, I'm not a fan of intentionally making the baseball team worse, basically because you're bored. And like, that's what this is. Like, if none of them are playing opening day, you're fielding a worse baseball team. You just are. Mm-hmm. Christian Campbell is the best second base option available. And if you're starting your three best outfielders on opening day, Roman Anthony's one of them. You are fielding a worse baseball team, at least in my opinion. Now, gentlemen, I'd like to hear some different opinions here, and I feel like Ryan Brady has a dissenting opinion because he usually does.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a weird world for me to be in because I haven't been able to be this positive and this happy and this excited for a Red Sox season in a while, right? So as I'm looking at this, again, Lou's right. It really doesn't make a difference, right? If the depth wasn't here, then okay. If you told me, hey, in 4 weeks or 5 weeks, ownership, not ownership, but front office is really sold on it as a collective. Like, yep, we all kind of agree. These possessions, they have these little kittens, these little crown jewels that they have. If you told me they need just a little more time in the incubator, just a little more, that's fine, because they're a better team having them on the roster, no doubt. But if the best version of themselves needs a little additional time, good things come to those who wait. We're going to be okay. David Hamilton is a good ball player. He should be playing the majority of second base, and I'm okay with that. Abreu's here. Cedon's playing great, right? We have Jaron Durant. Like, the outfield's good. It can be great in a few weeks. It would be cool, but if not, we can all wait. And what if they all got called up together at the exact same time? What if that happened?
That'd be like a cute, Disneyland fairy tale. That would be pretty neat. But like, I prefer not to do that, because like Marcelo Meyer might be waiting a bit here just because he's waiting for Trevor Story, to get injured. I don't want Trevor Story to get injured.
I don't either.
He just usually is the one that gets injured. Like, it usually happens. It's a bummer. I prefer if it didn't, but like, it's what we're all thinking. So
keep him safe, please. Keep him safe. Keep him in your prayers preemptively.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Justin, before I start fucking babbling on?
I kind of agree. Like, I kind of agree with Brady. I kind of agree with you, Hogdale. I'm kind of more in the camp of David Hamilton. We saw what he could do last year, and he sneakily put up one of the better seasons for the Red Sox last year. Pretty under the radar. Mm-hmm. Is a menace on the base paths. And I feel like they're gonna kind of see what he can do while Christian Campbell, and you shouldn't put too much thought into this, but it's not Christian Campbell isn't exactly like having a 2000 OPS during spring training. And like, you can't purely look at it like that. But if one guy like David Hamilton is kind of trying to build off of a pretty good year last year, I feel like he would be first on the totem pole, because then if Christian Campbell is ready to go and David Hamilton is eventually starting to peter out, I feel like he would be the one to get optioned. I feel like he would be the one, to kind of fall on Christian Campbell's sword. The rest of it, I mean, Marcelo Meyer, I don't know. I want him on the team. I don't really see how it fits without someone going on the IL, like you said. I mean, you could even have, like, if Wheeler goes into IL, you could figure it out. Roman Anthony, I think, like, he should be on the team. I feel like whether Wheeler starts the season on the IL or not, which is up in the air. We don't know if he's starting the season on IL or not. It was a couple weeks ago when he was going through his thing, and they said he had to ramp up and this and that. Like, they were saying how he's probably going to miss opening day. Now he's saying he's probably not going to miss opening day. So we don't really know. I feel like there's a way to have at least Roman Anthony up. The time manipulation, that's a whole different other conversation for a different day. I feel like I don't know. And bringing them up at the same time, like, I get it. Like, that's a cool sentiment. It's a cool story, but it really doesn't make sense. Like, they're all ready. You know what I mean? But you shouldn't want to bring them all up at the same time and cut 3 people off the 40-man roster just for the sake of a cool story. You know what I mean? So
but it's a really cool story, Joe.
It is a really cool story. It is a really cool story. It is a really cool story. But
for the record, I don't condone that. That's what the Red Sox should do. I'm just saying that would be kind of cool.
Like, it would be neat. Exactly. It would be neat. Okay. Like, come on, man. I don't know. I hope they don't, like, I hope they don't do it just for the sake of, like press or whatever. Like, if someone's ready, bring them up. Like, I don't understand, like, why, if Roman Anthony's ready but Christian Campbell's not ready just yet, I don't understand why Roman Anthony should be the one suffering and not being able to start his MLB career. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. I don't know. I'm going off on this right now. Just I'm thinking about thoughts that are entering my head. It's like you bring them from AA to AAA. That's really cool. That's really cool because AAA is filled with who give a fuck before the big three came around. You know what I mean? That's a really cool story. But then once it's MLB, you're dealing with the MLB team. Like now you have to figure out like, you know, what's best for the team. And if Roman Anthony's best for the team, even though you can't bring the other two up, then that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? That's my take on it.
The thing is, what just annoys me is just like you're basically keeping them down because like I don't know, maybe they aren't ready, I guess. Like based on what? Based on what information? What does Christian Campbell have to learn at AAA? What does Roman Anthony have to learn at AAA? What battle testing like have they struggled ever at those levels? No, not really. They kind of just annihilated every single level they were at.
Yeah.
Like you want Campbell's defense to be better at the major league level? Well, his major league level defense isn't getting better at the AAA level. I'll tell you that. I don't know, man. Maybe if like the people who are on the roster now, it's like if they even if like the people on the roster now, it's like, oh, these guys thrive, then like maybe they stay down for a lot longer. That's not true. Like if David Hamilton has a really good start to the season, there's not going to be a single member of the Red Sox front office. It's like, yeah, we're good at second base. Forget Christian Campbell. It's not going to fucking happen. If Wilyer Abreu starts to hit righties and is like a consistently good everyday MLB player, not a single soul in that front office is like, we're good. We're done with Roman Anthony. Like it's just not the case.
The only thing that I can see happening is if they say, okay, we have David Hamilton's at second base and he's playing pretty well to start off the year, we can have Christian Campbell get more reps at left because I don't think that's something that he's had a whole lot of exposure to in spring. So that's something that he could work on. That is something that he should work on. Is if there was one thing for him to work on, it would be getting more reps in left field. And then same thing for like Marcelo Meyer, right? Marcelo Meyer, if they don't have a spot for him, play some second base, get some reps at second base. We know you can be a good second baseman, but you need to get the reps in first and get the feel for it. I don't think he's had any reps at second base at all this spring. I don't think so either. So if there was one thing for all these guys to work on, I think it's pretty legitimate that, you could have them, like, you're not wasting time. We know the bats are ready. That's not why you're doing it.
Well, can I?
Yeah, please.
Roman Anthony last year played 84 games at AA. He played 35, a little less than half, right? Mm-hmm. His power numbers, he had in 84 games at AA, he had 20 doubles, 3 triples, 15 home runs for a grand total of 38 extra base hits. In roughly half the number of games, he had at AAA 12 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs. Mm-hmm. So he went 16 extra base hits. So he about a third of the extra base hits in about half the time. So if you told me that he was mashing baseballs at the same, he was hitting a lot more singles. That's for sure.
But he was smashing. Remember that last year was the first year of AAA. They had the fucking savant statistics. He was 99th percentile in all of the hard hit statistics. He was hitting the ball just as hard.
No. What I'm saying is, but okay, the results though, I'm just saying when all's said and done, he wasn't hitting home runs at the same clip. He wasn't. He's had 35 games, not 135 games, 35. If you said that they wanted to get him an extra 20, just to make sure, bringing a guy up, here's the thing is, some guys I think need the exposure to light the fire, to go back, to push forward, right? Some guys, I think once you call them up, you never want to send them down. I don't know what they view it as. Roman Anthony, I don't know if he's really a go up, get your feet wet, then go back kind of guy, or if he's, once we call him up, he's never going to the minor leagues ever again.
That's definitely the route they're going to go.
Which is why then they want to feel you're buying, if you're buying a car, you want to 100% be comfortable with all of, you don't want to screw this up. I don't think giving him 20 games in AAA is screwing up his development at all.
No, but then
alternative could be true.
You do also run the risk of him getting injured in 20 games. That risk is there. It might be minuscule, but it might be there. And then you know what I mean? Like he could also get hurt in MLB games too. I get that, but it would be a sickening sight, and I hope it never happens. Obviously,
Why would you even say this, Justin?
because the risk is there.
But
the risk is there. We know that he's ready now. Like, if the opening is there for Willier, if Willier's going to take his time getting back, ramp up, whatever the fuck, then you bring up Roman Anthony, and then if he's that good of a prospect, he's the undisputed number 1 prospect in baseball, then you make it work. You make it work around him.
Yeah, I've been saying the entire offseason, how the fuck is Willier still on this team?
Yeah.
It's nothing against him. He's a good player. He's a really useful player. But like you know what you have coming up. Why the fuck is he still here?
Well, hold on. For a guy who's late to get on the Willier, bandwagon here a little bit, right? There is definitely a baseball team that you can have that has Roman Anthony and Willier Abreu on it. I mean, you can have Roman Anthony in left field. You can have Duran in center field, and you can have Abreu / Cedon playing right field. That sounds like an awesome outfield. Like I have no like
that. Might be the best outfield in baseball. That's
right.
How good that outfield is.
Right. So I mean, Willier at first, I don't think when this offseason began, any of us thought there would be any chance that Willier would still be here.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, dude, him and Yoshida, I'm like, how the fuck are you guys still here?
Yeah.
Yoshida, that one I don't have an answer to, right? I think it's just because
it's so funny to me. Like, they've had him playing games, and like it's like guaranteed he's going on the IL as soon as the season starts.
Yep.
Like, you got to be a bit more subtle in your roster manipulation, fellas. You're going to get a fucking investigation brought down on our asses. What are we doing?
Yeah. I know that is going to be. We have a week for them to figure it out. Is Alex Cora going to bring Yoshida to the back room and kind of bust his kneecaps, and then be like, yeah, he's on the IL. He can't play for like 3 months, I don't see, like, that's so the dream scenario here with that outfield that we just said, then you come down to it's Marcelo Meyer versus David Hamilton versus Christian Campbell for one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Trevor Story gets injured again, which he really can't afford to get injured again, by the way.
I hate to say
I want to see Story play well. I really do.
Yeah.
I think the Red Sox are assuming there's a decent chance, even if it's just a little hamstring injury, like nothing major, that's where Marcel gets his opportunity, right? Campbell's going to get it just because whoever's playing at second base, unless David Hamilton is playing at an all-star level, in which case – figure it out. I don't know. Like, at that point,
there
was a point last year that David Hamilton was just taking the world by storm. If that happens, I don't know. That's a really good problem to have. Like, I don't really have an answer to that situation.
I will say that I'm kind of sick of hearing like that's a good problem to have. Like, can we just have they're playing the best team problem? Like, we're like that's just me. That's where I'm at. I just want them to play the best team. I want them to, and it's just not like be patient. It's like maybe I'll hear that argument that I should be patient, except no, because I want them to come up, because young guys, usually it takes them a little bit of time to adjust to the big league level. They usually don't thrive immediately. Like, usually it takes like about a month of them kind of figuring it out. And then after that, they kind of like go full blitz ahead and they're thriving. At least that's what happened like in their regards of like Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson with the Orioles.
The only thing, though, I'm just thinking out loud, I'm not even saying you're wrong with any of this, because I'm fine with either scenario, is, all right, we know 2/5 of the rotation is not ready to start the year, right? Mm-hmm. If you were assuming that Lucas Giolito was going to be a better pitcher this year than Quinn Priester at the major league level, right? And Brian Bayo offered you more than Richard Fitz right now for this upcoming season. If that's true, maybe you don't want to have 2/5 of your rotation be lesser than you would expect it to be, and then have guys come up that you think may need a month to cook, because if all of a sudden you get a couple of crappy starts here and there, then there's a little pressure on the offense to carry some of the bad starts. Maybe that's not the best way to bring in prize rookies on a season that is expected to be a memorable one, right? If we were expected to go nowhere, then that's a different story, right? But there is going to be a little bit of element of pressure when you come up. You're not just playing your first game or your first road trip. This team is expected to compete, and the window is open here to really compete in a way that we haven't seen in a while, right? Like, there's a real roadmap for the Red Sox to make a statement this year.
Yeah.
That is a little pressure. This is not coming to an expectation of a 500 win team. I think most people expect this to be a
division favorite.
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're the whole team is not here right now. Like there's no way we're not, and you may never get the whole team, but I don't want to put that stress or expectation. I can understand if that was the thought.
But I'm not worried about the expectations because they signed Alex Bregman. Like a guy like Alex Bregman and Rafael Devers and Tristan Casas are there to take the load off of these young guys who are coming up. These guys are not going to come up and have the pressure of being middle of the rotation bats. When Roman Anthony comes up, he's going to be batting like in the 7 hole or the 8 hole to start his career off and, and allow himself to earn a better spot in the lineup. Same deal, Christian Campbell. They're going to be batting in the second half of the lineup where it's like, hey guys, figure it out. There is obviously pressure of like you want them to succeed, but it's like it's early in the season. You have time to figure it out here. And if you want a better spot in the lineup, earn it. And like to me, like they have like the perfect situation set up for young guys to come in and thrive. Because like you have real veterans now that can, cushion them, that can take all of that pressure away from them.
You're not wrong. It's just that, if you're hitting 7th, and you're down, whatever it is, 4-1 in the 5th inning, and you got 2 on 1 out, and Anthony comes up and hits to a ground ball double play, right?
That's gonna happen.
No, it's going to. But if you feel that Quinn Priester is more likely to maybe get a little banged up here and there, as opposed to Brian Bayo giving you, let's say, a respectable start, it just might be depending a little too much that the starting pitching does its job. And with having not 1 but 2 starters down, look, I'm excited to see Richard Fitz. I'm excited to see Quinn Priester, but there might be a chance that's a lot of youth. You can't hide it, right? Like if Quinn Priester gets roughed up because it's his first taste back in a major league uniform as a starter, as opposed to pitching on the bullpen, there might be a little hiccups here and there, and that's to be expected. But if all of a sudden April doesn't go the way you want it to go, that's where, I mean, you can't hide these guys.
This just comes down back to my like overarching point. I'm not scared of the future. Like what? I'm not scared. Like that's fine. Like if some of these guys, like if they're going to have some growing pains, they're going to have some growing pains. I'd rather you get those growing pains out of the way in April when the games matter as little as they do the entire regular season. Mm-hmm. Like the later you late, like the more the games matter. Like if you don't bring Anthony up till like, June or July, God forbid, and like fucking, okay, the games are starting to matter now. This is a team, as we were talking about, that has real expectations. We think that they are positioned best to win the division. Like if you're bringing him in the midst of a division chase, I mean, that's pressure. Like that's real pressure.
Here's a good example. Orioles last year, they brought up Jackson Holiday, I want to say in like May, right around when teams usually bring up their prize prospects to get another year out of them. Had a horrendous start. Went back down, was crushing it. Then they brought him back up, I want to say in like August maybe. And then he had another slow start. It wasn't as bad as when he came up in May. But it was still fairly bad. Then started to heat up in September. This is all from memory. If I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but this is how I remember it. But by the time he was starting to heat up in September, they already gave the division to the Yankees. The Yankees. I don't know if you guys remember last year, the Orioles and the Yankees were in a heated like division race, and the Orioles started to fall out of it. So there is something to say about, you keep a guy and you trust him and you bring, you ride through the pains in April. And by the time, if he would have kind of had a hot second half, maybe that story would have been a little bit different. So there is something to be said about it. But, at the end of the day, whatever decision they make is going to be out of our hands. And we know, like, if they don't all start on opening day, they will eventually. It's not like they're going to keep him down like Jason Dominguez for like 18 years in AAA,
Yeah.
Like, so I have faith. And the whole reason why they wouldn't come up in the first place is because everybody's healthy and everybody's playing really good. That's the only reason why we wouldn't see him, for the first month of the season, which would be really good signs. So, I'm willing to let it play out. But
can I also say that, like, I'm also just antsy because after 3 years of being told, like, this is a bridge year, this is a bridge year, this is a bridge year, wait till next year. Maybe I'm just being tired of told to fucking wait. And, how about you go fuck yourself instead of telling me to wait? How about that?
How about that, folks? Go fuck yourself.
Respectfully,
Yeah.
Hogdale, just wait a little bit. Just wait a little bit. Not a lot. Not a whole year.
I mean, because I'll wait no matter what. I have no fucking power over what the team does, but like I'll be mad the entire time.
Oh, well, hold on.
We know.
If the Red Sox play 24 games the first month, and they start, they go 15-9. I don't think. Yeah, right. You're all of a sudden you're like, wow, David Hamilton really playing a hell of a second base. Right?
I will. You know me. You guys know me. I will be able to consistently hold one in that situation. Absolute. So much joy of Tristan Casas dominating the league, because that's going to be one of the things that happen if they're that good. And I will also simultaneously hold they could be on a fucking 130 win pace if you brought up the young guys, and I'll be just as angry about it.
Yeah, I was going to say winning cures all, but not with Hogdale. It doesn't.
When I know you can be better, when I know the fucking the real situation where you're not putting your best team out in the field is there, I'm gonna be fucking mad about it. I'm gonna be annoyed about it.
I just want to be happy again. Can we just
I can do both.
Yeah. We can be happy.
I can simultaneously be happy and furious. I can do it. I have the capacity.
Impressive. I don't know many people that can do that.
Yeah, I can't do that. No, I mean, I'm just really excited about the season.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited about the season. The season's gonna be awesome.
We are on 1 week watch for a Garrett Crochet extension. Do you guys think it's gonna get done, or do you think it's gonna bleed into the season?
I think it's very, very gonna get done. I'm extremely confident that it's gonna get done. It's not based on any information or anything.
Yeah,
it's just that the Red Sox have done a good job operating how the team should be operating. In order to be a great team. They've done a good job the entire offseason. And not extending Crochet would be an unfathomably dumb blunder. And I think they've earned the benefit of the doubt this offseason for me to think that they're going to do the obvious and smart thing, which is get that extension done. And we know the talks are still happening. There haven't been any reports about how it's done or they're done negotiating and we're going to into the they won't negotiate again until the offseason. They're still talking, so that's encouraging to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hogdale and I were speaking, before we started. I can't remember the exact date, but when the Red Sox extended Josh Beckett, years ago, I want to say it was the third day of the regular season. I think, they're just through a start. I can't remember that. I think if it can go into the first week, if you were finalizing language, it's all done. And we didn't really, if my memory serves, we didn't really hear about it. It was just boom. Rick Porcello seemed like the same thing. It was just boom, done. So I'm okay with it. I think it will get done. I think if it's signed, even within the first couple of days of the regular season, because you got that off day, right? You play the first day, then you're off. I want to say that's when Beckett was signed. I think Schilling pitched game 1, and then the off day, and then he started his first start with new contract in hand. Garrett Crochet is too good. He can't do that because we don't have someone else to make opening day start. He's the guy. If they sign to a nice 5-6 year extension, it's I think almost impossible to say this is not a full A+ offseason.
Yeah, I've said this before on Twitter or X. Twitter. Yeah. Twitter. I think when you traded for, and I've said it on here too, I think when you traded for Crochet, the expectation was that you're going to have to extend him. So for me, the grade can only go down if you don't. But if you do, that was always the expectation. Good job. You got it done. Doesn't really change much for me. Would I be surprised if he got extended? Absolutely not. I think it's going to happen. Would I be surprised if it doesn't happen? And would it change my mind on the offseason just a tiny little bit? Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. My grade would go from an A to a B+.
I agree. I kind of feel like if you don't extend him, then might as well just sign Max Fried. Just stepped up the efforts because, to give up that much for 2 years, I don't know if this team is – I wouldn't put all my chips in and say it's World Series or bust this year, right? Mm-hmm. And I can't predict the way that next year looks because I don't know the development, injuries, all those good things. But if you don't get – you only make that big trade without the guarantee extension if you think we're all in this year, right? And that's what I felt the Orioles did last year when they traded for Corbin Burns, right? They were all in. That was their expectation. We're not all in World Series or bust. We're all in playoffs or bust, right? that postseason or bust, I think, is the expectation. And you get there and you see what happens. But man, if you have a Garrett Crochet extension in hand, wow. I mean, it's exciting.
And like he's coming in with like I haven't looked at the odds today, but I want to say he's top 5 in odds for AL Cy Young.
Mhm.
If he ends up winning Cy Young and you don't have an extension done by the end of this year, well, even by the end of like, you know, the All-Star game, the All-Star break, you're fucked because he's going to be looking for a Garrett Cole contract or more. Right
Probably
now,
more.
right now, and justifiably so if he wins Cy Young, man. Like right now, you could probably get away with something around the max free deal, which is, I mean, you'd be setting the record for the most money paid to a left-handed pitcher of all time.
I don't think he would sign that many years.
No, okay, so give him you know an opt out halfway through.
Yeah,
Sure. You know what I mean? Fine.
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
If the Red Sox get a guaranteed, let's just say minimum 4 years, right? That they get control for 4 full seasons, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of worth it. Then, if they only got that much, if that's all they got, and then he opted out,
Yeah,
I can't bitch about giving away some really good young players to get a young lefty who's at a Cy Young kind of level for 4 full seasons.
exactly.
That's not bad. Like,
Yeah. And if you can get him for more years, then
Right.
get him for more years. You know, how old is he, Hogdale? Do you know off the top of your hand?
I want to say he's like 26 right now.
26. You give him a 7 year contract. He's you know,
he's younger, 25.
25. Yeah. So give him, you know, you could give him a 10-year contract. He's only fucking 35. I mean, and you're not going to give him a 10-year contract. It's going to probably settle around 6 or 7 years, I would assume. It's still pretty young at the end of that.
If he signed the 8-year deal with an opt out after, God, I'd love it for 5, right? Opt out after 5.
Sure.
And he signs that free agent contract when he's 30.
Yeah.
He's still going to get a huge payday.
Exactly.
But now he has guaranteed money, big money for 5 years. Red Sox have a guaranteed big time left-hand starting pitcher for 5 years.
Yep.
It just sounds like we just figured it out, boys.
It just comes down to money and how much they want to give and how much he wants to accept.
I'm sorry, like Crochet's like talked too much publicly about wanting a extension for this not to get done. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like if a player wants an extension, like, yeah, there's probably like a certain number he wants to hit, but like that's, if you're openly being like, I want an extension really, really badly, you're not the guy who's fiending for every single last penny, like draining you for fucking max dollars. I'm sorry.
Give him 30 a year for 8 years and let him opt out after 5. Who says no?
Yeah.
I do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's unfair to Crochet either. I feel like that's actually you got a guaranteed $250 million coming your way, whether you get hurt or you don't.
You have that security.
You know it.
Yeah.
And you have to worry about moving either. That's got to be kind of cool too. Settle in. You know, you're picking a good time to become a Boston Red Sox. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He said he wants a home. He said he wants a home for the rest of his career, which is awesome. Give him that.
Yeah.
Give him that, you know? So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Just to kind of compound off of what you were saying about Beckett and a couple other guys that signed extensions last year. Sadon signed his extension. It was announced on April 10th. So these things can go into the season.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I just feel like you know, higher end guys like Vladdy and Crochet and a couple other guys who are kind of in this position, they kind of want to set a strict deadline so they can focus on the season at hand, which I totally understand. But yeah, I would give it to like, you know, April 15th. And if something doesn't get done, then it's probably not going to get done until next offseason, which is unfortunate. But
agreed. Sometimes the deal's done, but the little bit of language back and forth, they're not done with that. So you finalize that part, and I don't think that's distracting. If you know you're there, just let the agents and
exactly.
That's okay. But the parameters are all agreed upon. Yeah, I agree with that. April 15th. That sounds about right.
Yep.
Cool. Yep.
Justin, you mentioned Vladdy. Could I just mention, like, real quick? Obviously not Red Sox related, but it just brings me joy because people are talking about, like, the Blue Jays offered to Vladdy and, like, how much he's going to get in free agency. I will say that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Vlad does take an offer in free agency that's less than what the Blue Jays offered him out of pure value if he doesn't want to fucking be there. Like the numbers that that he's like, I'll take this is like, it's not like the number he'll take from anyone. It's like, this is the number I'll take to play for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Exactly.
Because the Toronto Blue Jays are a fucking vibeless, oralist, loser, fat organization. Like, no one is trying to play for the fucking Blue Jays, least of all Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I just wanted to throw that in there. I needed to get that barb in.
Are you stating that he's imposing a sort of tariff against?
Yeah. I would say that he's imposing a tariff against the sports.
He really doesn't want to play there, and like,
can't blame him.
He's been there. It's not like, he's telling you, I really don't want to be here. But if you're going to pay me some obscene, like, nobody wants to pay first baseman anymore. Nobody.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'm just going to make up a number. Right. And then they kind of meet him there. And then he's like, actually, I'm going to make it even bigger. Right.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I feel like he would have said no to whatever deal that the Blue Jays would have offered him, because this was the whole thing about it. Like when the Yankees were dealing with the whole Juan Soto thing, it's like if the Yankees were willing to give you, just call it $650 million in an extension. If I'm Juan Soto, I'm like, well, fuck. I could make another 150 million on top of that in a bidding war, So that's exactly why, I think the Blue Jays could have offered him $900 million. Vladdy would have been like, I'm good. I'm going to wait for off season and get that bill. You know what I mean? So
let me go try to get Steve Cohen involved in the bidding real quick.
yeah. That's very smart, by the way, because the Mets still have an opportunity to sign him, and then Pete Alonso could fucking kick rocks, or be your GH,
Just store this somewhere, boys. Somewhere, just bookmark this one. I got a feeling he's going to end up at a completely obscure place, a la,
Seattle.
I'm feeling Detroit.
Yeah, Seattle.
Detroit's a team that's building something right there. Does not have a payroll at all. Definitely can afford it. Has a legitimate manager now. Obviously, they have a number one starting pitcher, an ace in hand. Yeah. I can see something like that, and he's just going to cash in like no one's business. But hey, at least it's not Toronto.
And then he pans out like fucking Prince Fielder all over.
Correct.
Him,
yes.
I will say that, with Vladdy, if things don't go the best ever with Tristan Casas this year, he's a Red Sox. He will be a Red. Motherfuckers and liking edits of him in a Red Sox jersey with Raffy. Like, that dude wants to be a fucking Bostonian Red Stocking. He really does.
Do you think there's a scenario where even if Casas has a really good year, if Vladdy calls him, says, this is where I want to be, the Red Sox then use Casas as a trade chip for said whatever you want, another version of Garrett Crochet, right? You want to get that number 2 to go along with him. That could happen too.
They definitely go, but Vladdy would have to have, he basically would just have to repeat the year he just had before and have a better year than I think Casas is going to have as well. He better be having the exact similar kind of year, because I think Casas is going to go fucking nuclear this year.
Yeah, I think Brady, you have kind of reached into the depths of my subconscious, because I have been thinking that scenario for a long time, but I haven't spoke about it, because we're so far from Vladdy even considering being a free agent, and fucking what do you do with Casas? I'm not at that point yet, but. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have, and this is just for examples, right? Don't put any too much thought into this. Would you rather have Vladdy and Jared Jones, or would you rather have Casas?
You know the answer to the question.
Exactly.
And as of right now, it has to be Vladdy and Jared Jones.
That's what I'm saying. Or a fucking, replace Jared Jones with whoever his equivalent is. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be exactly Jared Jones, but
it could be Sandy.
Sure. Sandy, it could be whoever you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I love Tristan Casas. I think he's going to have a tremendous year. But if the opportunity for them is there for them to kind of improve the team, and if Vladdy wants to take that pay cut and come here, even if he doesn't want to take the pay cut, who cares? If he really wants to come here and you want to bring him in and he has another nuclear season, this doesn't work if he doesn't have a good season. If he doesn't have a good season, then the Red Sox are out. They're going to be like, we're just going to stick with Casas, and then that's it. But if Vladdy can finally string 2 elite seasons together in a row, which is something that he hasn't been able to do yet in his career, then that is where I think the Red Sox are in a position to say, hey, You know, let's entertain Tristan Casas in. Let's actually shop him this time, you know, and see what we can get for him. And then we'll sign. But this, you know, we're so far from this conversation. It's not even funny. But
Justin, you bring up though an interesting point, and then it's just the Red Sox have shown repeatedly they'll pay the positional player.
Sure,
that they don't.
Oh, yeah, they will.
But if you brought in a young starting pitcher, that they feel very comfortable with, right? Yeah. They'll move other pieces to get they'd rather pay the positional player, not the pitcher, if the pitcher's over a certain age. They're just not going to do that. But would they would they pay Vlad to kind of get Jared Jones, if that's what it took for Cat? Yeah, I think that feels Red Soxy.
Yeah.
Can I also just say another scenario is Bregman goes off this year, opts out after year one, you sign Vlad and you keep Casas anyway.
Sign Vlad. Yeah, but what?
So Devers your third baseman again?
Devers your third baseman.
Like Vlad, we were just kidding. We were just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
DH. There you go.
How was your 1 year at DH? Yeah, that's never going to happen again. Why don't you go back to third base and then Masataka Yoshida?
You're telling me he wouldn't
still on the team.
Guys,
no one,
joking around.
They DFA and no one gives a fuck about Masataka Yoshida. Stop talking about you don't believe that Masataka Yoshida is a deciding factor on their fucking roster decisions. No one believes that. In a situation where you're throwing $400 million a year at Vlad, you're throwing Yoshida in a fucking wood chipper. You don't care about Yoshida.
No,
you can't DFA him. You can't DFA him.
They're going to part-time DH him, Justin. What's he worth to this roster as a part-time DH?
A lot.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you're an injury away from being.
No,
I had Yoshida around. If you have somebody pull a hammy and they're out for 4 weeks,
fuck, man, 4 dudes might have to get hurt by the time they regularly play Yoshida. Man, they fucking hate him. What? Come on. What are we talking about?
Microphone's doing a good job, by the way.
It's holding up, brother.
Yeah,
Let's go. I love to see it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, in the scenario where Bregman opts out, and like you have those three, and like you just kind of cycle the DH position between those three, whatever. That would be one of the most fucking ridiculous offensive teams the league has ever seen. Like, are you kidding me? Fucking Devers, Casas, Vlad as the heart of your order, supplemented with guys like Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell, and Marcelo Meyer. Are you?
Yeah.
What?
Jaron Duran would fit nicely in there.
Jaron Duran just hanging out. He's like the 6th best hitter on the team now.
Yeah.
Like that's like a fucking 162-0 is in play.
Yeah, with Crochet and Houck and Bayo and pitcher X, who we haven't decided yet, whoever that might be.
I love pitcher X.
Yeah, pitcher X is great.
Pitcher X is my guy. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Yeah, he's that's Cash Consideration's cousin. I don't know if you guys knew that.
oh damn,
yeah.
That's how I know him. Okay.
Related to TBA, right?
Yeah.
TBD.
Yep.
Yeah.
TBA. Yeah. TBD. Yeah. The twins.
Yeah. The twins. Yeah.
We're jumping the gun. This is going to be a great season. I can't wait to enjoy it. And I can't wait to enjoy last year's season when we have to watch the Netflix documentary in mid-April. That's going to be fun.
Why is that not out yet?
Genuinely,
why is that not out yet?
I don't know.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
How many minutes of the documentary do you think Noah's song gets airtime?
Oh, I hope he gets his own episode.
No, I was just going to say,
yeah.
And I hope that Ed hid from us that like they interviewed him as the #1 Noah song update guy. Yeah. I hope they gave him a full episode where like he gave him his in-depth analysis.
Yep. And the Sox prospect guys too. Just do like a three-way panel and just have them just have an entire.
But have Ed clearly be the #1 guy.
Yeah.
There. Like, he's in the middle chair because this is the guy you defer to in regards to Noah's song.
Can I just point this out? Right. If I were the Red Sox,
mm-hmm.
I would carry Noah's song around. Like remember, and they had the taxi squad. I would bring him on all the road trips. Because I think if we're thinking outside the box here a little bit, right? Heaven forbid something happened to a pilot on the plane. If Noah's song is there and they're like, is there a pilot on board? You say, yep.
We got one.
We got one, guys. we got one.
Or
yes.
Yeah. No. He can train the other players who were definitely going to be on the roster to pilot a plane, and then you release them.
No, now you
Yeah.
want,
No,
no,
you gotta stick around. Gotta
gotta
keep the
stick
flame
around.
All
going.
right, if he wants to stick around on a minor year, who gives a fuck deal, then that's fine. But
think
you
about
can,
this too.
if
Let's
you
say the Red Sox.
train Tristan Casas to be a fucking fighter pilot jet,
It's over.
it's over. It's over. Russia, China, fucking bring it on. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong, but let me just throw this scenario out. Okay,
Yeah.
Red Sox are playing in the for ALCS, and it's Red Sox versus Mariners. Just like, okay, right? That's what it is. But let's say the Sox lose the first two at home. If you're going to Seattle down 0-2, you don't like the odds at. However, Noah Song flies in, right? Takes out the Mariners field. Does it Safeco? I don't remember what it is anymore. It's gone. So now you have to play right. T-Mobile Park is gone. Now you have to play at a neutral site location, which doesn't hurt the Red Sox.
And in the chaos, you could just take Logan Gilbert and no one can stop you.
Sure.
Like, what are you going to do? You have a fighter pilot.
Yeah. It's like that opening scene of Dark Knight Rises where it's like Bane is like ripping the fucking head off of an airplane. And then you just take Logan Gilbert. They expect one of us to be lost in the rubbish.
The possibilities are just endless with this. You know what I mean?
I can't believe we didn't consider this already.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Speaking of pitchers that are employed by the Boston Red Sox, by the way, we're 46 minutes in, and like we're just now getting to our second big topic.
Yeah, bring it on.
What a pace.
We're such a good show, man.
Yeah.
I fucking love this show so much.
This is what happens when Ed's not around to kind of reel us back in. We just we talk about, you know, Bane and Batman and terrorist attacks and
the teachers away. You know what I mean?
Tariffs.
Yeah. Fuck San
Oh
Francisco. Go ahead.
Oh my god. Yeah. So boys, I don't know if you heard. There's been some injuries. Not really major injuries, but there's been injuries to some Red Sox pitchers. It looks like Lucas Giolito, they're being a bit cautious because he says he's fine, but he'll miss a start or two going on probably the 10-day IL. We're not going to see Brian Bayo as well to start the year, and same deal with Cutter Crawford. He might be out till like May or maybe June if it's really bad, but sounds like May. It's like, you know, a lot of people have been been upset, been freaking out. You know, they're a little rattled, even, if you will, about this. On a level 1 to 10 concern, the concernometer, how concerned are you? Brady, let's start with you.
I guess I have to give it a solid 2, right? Because it's not nothing, right? Sometimes the nagging injuries have a way of not going away. If it was only one of them, then it would probably be only a 1, right? But the fact that it's both, I'm big on Giolito, right? Like, I think, listen, he has all the reason in the world to want to have a good year, and I think he'll be healthy. But if we didn't have the depth, I'd be worried, right? Like, of course, I want, Priester would be great, and and it'd be nice to see Dick Fitz out there, right, on the bump. But if you told me, hey, even past that, do I feel confident with Cooper Criswell? In addition to, I do, right? The depth is really there. So I'm going to put it a solid 2.
How about you, Weston?
At 0. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all, bro. Like, look, Bayo's ramping up. The only reason he's not starting opening day is because he had to pretty much restart his ramp up for the entire offseason. So he's not hurt. He's throwing live bullpens. I think he threw a simulated game this week. I really don't know, because the beautiful members of the Boston media, except for Chris Cotillo, because I asked Chris Cotillo, he's in North Carolina on vacation, so he wasn't sure. No one else. Cora said that Bayo was supposed to throw a live BP or simulated game this past Wednesday. We never heard about it if he did or he didn't. And there's no way for me to ask. I really, I guess, I also didn't really care enough to find out, I guess, but he's ramping up. So he's not injured right now. He's going to be fine. Okay. Giolito said he was feeling 100%, and them putting him on the IL is purely precautionary, and that's fine too. So the only real injury this rotation has is Cutter Crawford, and that's fine. That's fine. And it's not even really that bad of an injury. Like we said, ad nauseum, you have Priester, you have Fitz, and then if things get really dark and really horrible, you do have Cooper Criswell. If you have to dip into Cooper Criswell, that means someone else is getting hurt, and I don't want to see that. Then I'm starting to get a little worried. Sure. But as far as like Giolito and Bayo, I mean, they're going to be back in what, 3-4 weeks. That's fine. That's really fine. I mean, I was doing the math the other day.
You crunching some numbers?
I was crunching a little bit of numbers. Yeah.
I like it.
And Giolito would miss 2 turns of the rotation, which would bring him back in 10 days if they retroactive it to, I don't know can they retroactive an IL stint to before the season starts? I think they can, right? To a certain date, maybe.
I'd have to look. Honestly, I don't know the technicality on that.
I don't know either.
Don't know.
So call it 10 days if they retroactive it to whenever before the season started. That would bring him back for the opening homestand.
Sure,
which is fine. I mean, that's fine. You can go an opening road trip with Priester and Fitz for a rotation or two, and it's really not that big of a deal. This is why they built up the depth that they have, so that we don't have to worry when shit like this happens.
I really am like at a strong 0, like just a strong 0. Maybe I'd be at like a 1 if like Dick Fitz was still like throwing 93, 94. Like now he's like pumping 96 consistently. Like he clearly put on some LBs and fucking, just slanging that motherfucker. He could actually get some swing and miss now. Because now I got slinging
some fucking dick, dude.
Slinging Dick Fitz. That's his nickname. Slinging. I'm just excited because now it's like we get an opportunity to see 2 young guys that I genuinely am excited to see. Because like I've been like talking about how much I want to see Priester for a while now. Because I'm like last year during the season, I was saying, like I don't want to see Priester yet. They haven't fixed him. And then like he started playing way better. They did fix him, and now he's fixed. He's ready to go. He's like he's 97. Yeah. He's got good breaking shit. I'm ready to see the finished product. And like same here with Dick Fitz. I want to see what these guys can do in a big league environment because these guys might be really good. Like who knows? Like maybe they're way better than we originally ever thought they could be. Maybe they'll be mainstays in this rotation. Maybe they'll force their way in. Who knows? It's really exciting.
Yeah, if Quinn Priester, even if his ceiling is a number 4 or number 5 starting pitcher, but you're paying him absolutely nothing, right? I mean, there's value in that. There's value in not paying a guy in your rotation hardly anything so he can spend it somewhere else on extensions, whatever. This is interesting too, because this will be the first real move that Craig Breslow made for pitching, right? Trade away from a strength in positional players in Nick York. And then, Nick York, not a perfect prospect by any means. And you're bringing a guy in Quinn Priester, same thing. But with that pitching lab and with that infrastructure and a full offseason program, if you find something here, it gives you an exciting early returns on what Craig Breslow and the pitching lab can do. If you can turn a guy who lost his spot as a starter with the Pirates, pitching out of the bullpen, things not really going great, and all of a sudden he comes up and he forces the issue, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah. And next year's depth is going to be even fucking better, man.
You had that entire draft class of dudes that they brought in.
Well, not even, bro. You have David Sandlin, who looks fucking awesome. You have Connolly Early, who's rising through the ranks like a madman. And then Luis Perales comes back. I mean, dude, that depth, and you compound that on the rest of the depth that this team has. They've talked about, Walker Buehler's talked about signing an extension already. He wants to spend the rest of his life here. I mean, it's gonna be a fun time. No more, and I thank the gods for this. No more openers, bro. No more fucking TBDs. No more fucking, we ran out of pitchers to start. So here comes, Bernardino to open a game again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep.
I love it. I love it.
That's not even mentioning, in terms of like a pitcher, like right now in their minor league system, that like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're a top 5 prospect next year. Fucking Peyton Tolley, man.
Yeah.
Like, what is he going to do this season? Is he going to ascend? Is he going to be the prospect this year that takes that massive leap? That's like shows that this guy is going to be extremely special and is going to be a mainstay of what we're building here. He's already 22 years old. Like obviously he was a college guy they drafted out. I would not be surprised at all if by like this time next year, like we have another like premier pitching arm like coming out of the system.
Is he a starter?
I believe so. Yeah. Is he not?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I was literally asking.
He's 6'6". He's a big motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. He had
14 games started at TCU with a 3.21 ERA.
Wow, he had a 900 OPS with Wichita State in 2023.
God damn.
Damn. Two-way player him. What the fuck are we doing?
Lazy asses.
Yep.
Terrible.
Yeah, he started 14 games in college in 2024. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't done enough research to see if he's a starter or reliever. But I will say Peyton Tolley is definitely a reliever name. As far as names go, I think that's definitely a reliever name for sure.
He's a 6'6" lefty.
Yes, sir.
He is.
Welcome. Close enough. Welcome back, Chris Sale.
Yeah. Not to jump the gun, but hey, Chris Sale.
Wait, so we're not even
Johnson, actually.
We're not positive if he's going to be a starter or a reliever.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm just not positive. I don't know.
No.
They may have it figured out, but I don't know.
You've got him up there with the likes of Chris Sale and Randy Johnson already.
Yep.
Love it. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, him and Crochet, the lefty twins. You know, the Twin Towers, they'll call them.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So what do you got next, Hogdale?
What do I got? How dare you, first of all, ask me what I got next? No, I'm joking. But I on my notes here, I just have at the top being Rafael Devers and how he maybe is considering ordering a chicken sandwich. I mean, demanding a trade. Like we could talk about this. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm trying to be nicer. Like when talking about the Red Sox media, at least in regards to the people who cover the game every day, the beat, because I really don't have big beef with the beat, especially like Chris the Armadillo Cotillo. Good fellow. Love that guy. And this still isn't even a beef with him. But I'm not going to lie. I saw this story of basically like it's almost like a desperate grasping for a negative narrative for a team that's genuinely has amazing vibes right now and is really positive going into the season. That the story is like Rafi maybe considered asking for a trade, which is like something like in like a high school girl's dream journal, like how she maybe considered asking out the fucking the homecoming king to prom. Like I don't.
Hogdale, I'm not going to take the contrarian take here at all, right? I'm generally like when I read this, I had to read it like many times over and over again, and be like, so you're telling me there's not a story? Like your story is that there's not a story. So all right, you're telling me at one point maybe he was a little upset.
He's angry even.
But now he's cool. So you're telling me the stories that there's not a story. That's how good this offseason has been, is that your story is that there's not a story and you don't know how to write that. So there's no story.
Yep.
So there's no story. All right, cool. So he's ready to play. Thanks.
And just as a disclaimer, the only reason we're talking about it, not because it's a story, because we want to talk about how fucking stupid it is.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the only reason why we're bringing it up right now.
Fake news.
Brady, I don't know if you saw my take on this, but I had a tweet and I said, okay, so Rafael Devers, he contemplated asking for a trade. Okay, he contemplated it, thought about it, didn't ask. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Good job, Rafael Devers. He made the right decision. But instead, the media wants to. Now I sound like a fucking tinfoil hat guy. Yeah. The underground, the woke media wants you to believe. They want you to believe that this is a bad thing. Like, oh my God, he considered asking for a trade. This is horrible news. Like, no, it's not.
The radical
he thought about it and didn't do it. And by the way, I just want to keep saying the only reason he thought about it is because we put it into his fucking head. That's the only reason why we thought about it, because we asked him, so you want to get traded? That's the only reason why he thought about it. If no one asked him, he wouldn't be fucking thinking about it.
Before that, it looks like he hadn't even considered it. Like he was so taken aback by like the idea that he would ask for a trade.
Yeah. This generally goes down as one of the dumber things that I mean, the Red Sox media, they're not good, right? They like to drive players out of town. That's what they like to do, right? It must be a fetish. I don't know, right? I don't know.
There are some saving grace members of it, though. But
you know what I'm saying,
yes.
Right?
Overall, yes, they do. Boston media has a stigma around them that is something that is it's it's of their own doing. Yes.
So you're telling me that at some point, some sources close to you said that he may have at one point felt a certain way, but no longer feels that way. And that's the story, that at one point he did feel that way.
What are we, psychics? I don't understand. I don't get it. How do you know what someone's considering? Like it.
I don't know how you write that story with a straight face, submit it to your, submit it to your editor, and they're like, oh, this is
the one. Yeah, we need to release this right fucking now. Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
Really good reporting. Way to go, right?
Yeah.
Unnamed sources say at some point in time he may have considered getting a sandwich.
May have considered
getting a sandwich for lunch, but he didn't. Instead, he got a salad. Yeah. News at 11. Like, what are we actually doing here?
Yeah, I may have considered scratching off a winning. Yeah, no, I know. This is the most "we need baseball back in the worst way" story I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
Yep,
it's so fucking embarrassing, bro.
Can we just write stories about like Trevor Story's redemption arc?
Well, let's hold on. There's shit to actually talk about that we don't know about. Like I brought it up before. Bayo, what's going on? He was supposed to throw on Wednesday in some capacity. We still don't fucking know if he threw or not. Is this guy even alive? What's going on? But instead, we're talking about, Rafael Devers thought about considering possibly beating off in the morning. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
That would have been more noteworthy.
Yes.
Yeah. He would consider beating off.
No one's thought of that before. Sure. Yeah.
Like, if you want to talk about, you want to be negative, right? If you want to go down that narrative, you could say a little concerned about the bullpen, right? That we don't know who's what and who's where yet. Okay, at least I could read that article and be like, yeah, I get that. Interesting.
I mean, whatever. If you want to be negative, put together my exact rant about the fucking big three not being on the opening day roster and do that. Like you can be negative in productive ways, gentlemen. I promise you.
Yeah, you can. You're right. You've proven that.
I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. So he thought about something, but no longer is thinking about that.
Yep. I don't know. He thought about it and then ended up not doing it. That's how I see it. It's a positive,
Like if I went out and bought a car and didn't consult it with my wife, I would be in trouble. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But if I thought about buying a car, but I didn't actually do it, right. And then I'm like, you know what? No. As though I should get in trouble for considering to buy a car without permission, even though I didn't actually do it.
Right. Then that's exactly
because if that's true, I would always be in trouble.
If this like story was like a big deal, you'd have to like it would basically be like whenever you have an intrusive thought. Yeah. It's like that. Yeah, the intrusive thought actually happened, and like, it's so terrible. It's like when I'm driving down the road and I see a person on the road, and like a voice in my brain is like, "You should swerve left and hit that guy." Right. Like, obviously, no, brain, we shouldn't do that. Why the fuck are you doing that? Like, are you saying that I am objectively an evil person?
Apparently, that's what
the intrusive thought that like I should sideswipe this guy while driving for the meme.
Yeah,
like. Which is literally like why my brain does it. Like, wouldn't it be kind of funny? It's like, no, it wouldn't be kind of funny. Like,
and then make you guilty.
Yeah, and then imagine someone reporting that and being like, "Yeah, this is it. I need everyone to know that Hogdale wanted to kill somebody this morning on the road."
Dude, the fucking I just thought of it. I just thought of that now.
Podcaster Hogdale.
Yeah,
he's a mental criminal of crimes of thought that no longer are with him. But we know he was thinking about it for at least 3 to 4 seconds.
Dude,
murderer.
The title of the fucking article should literally be Rafael Devers didn't let his intrusive thoughts win. Because that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
On.
Yeah.
Or that's what happened. The fuck?
DH Rafael Devers, prime for huge season due to lineup protection.
That'd be funny. If they did that, that'd be funny. Just start off with DH Rafael Devers. It'd be so funny.
He was upset, but is no longer feeling that way. Let's write 3 paragraphs about how he's no longer upset.
It's just funny.
Wow. By the way, that'll be $8.99 because the story's behind a paywall.
Who pays for that?
Pay writers, though. Like, listen,
because that's the whole reason. Definitely pay writers. But the whole reason why the paywall exists is, and the clickbait title exists, is so that people can pay the fucking $8 and then see what the actual, and then find out that it never happened. So this is a waste of money.
Well, that's not a good way to get me to want to spend money on an article.
But that's been the foolproof way for years in the media world, Brady. That's,
you know what?
I'm just catching on now. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what? You fools. This whole thing was an elaborate ruse to it was a marketing ploy. Go read Jen McCaffrey. She's the best on the Athletic. She's always on point.
Yep. Jim McCaffrey, Max
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Mac is the man, too.
Yeah, Mac is the man. Jen's the woman.
Chris Cotillo also does genuinely do very good report. We love Chris Cotillo. He's a good guy.
Chris Cotillo is great. Chris Cotillo is awesome. And then if you want to still follow Alex Spear, you're going to have to get a Blue Sky account.
Yeah, you do. And that's so sad, man.
It's so sad, but like it was necessary. He had to do it. I mean, Twitter is just a cesspool these days of misinformation, and
it sucks.
Fuck yeah, it really does suck. And the whole reason why it sucks is because of the stories that we just spoke about.
I'm going down with the ship though. Like I'll never leave Twitter.
Yeah,
I've been on this godforsaken website almost a decade. I will not leave until it's dead.
Yeah, me too. Unfortunately. But
Hogdale, I'd say, what do you have next? But I don't want to get yelled at like you yelled at Justin. So.
Hogdale, what do you have next?
Why don't you tell me that I'm a dog shit host, both of you? Both you guys, okay? How dare you?
Send to North Korea.
Yeah. North Korea. Get ready to learn fucking Pyongyang, buddy. Yeah. God damn it. All I have here is just, why isn't David Robertson a Red Sox? Do you guys have an answer?
I think they really trust Slayton and Guerrero and whoever else. If they can't find a closer out of this committee, then I don't know. Just close up shop. There's got to be at least one closer in this whole entire committee.
But he's not a closer anymore.
Who? David Robertson?
No.
Yeah, you just have him be like another high leverage arm.
He'd have. I would say as much closing experience as Chapman if he joined the team.
So you're telling me they'd have depth.
Yeah,
also really good depth too.
Right,
very good depth. Yeah,
kind of what the why I'm so excited for this season is it's not just like, okay, as long as nobody gets hurt. Like there's depth all around. David Robertson, I think it's just because it makes too much sense, right? He's still really good. He's pitching the AL East. He's thrived. He's had really big postseason moments. Right, he's a World Series winner.
Yep.
It just made. Yep, I know. It wouldn't be expensive.
No. Call it $6-7 million.
Yeah, like what the actual? I think when the off season began, I would have thought he would have gotten north of $10 million. 1 year, 10, 11, 12. Now we're getting late. Like what is actually going on?
He was drafted in 2006.
He's been around forever.
He's been around for a very long time. Dude, that means David Robertson, like if I load up MLB Power Pros 2008, David Robertson would be in that game. That's fucking insane to me. That's like my favorite sports video game ever. I played that game as a little child, and that motherfucker was in that game. That's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
For a guy like Slayton, I think he'd be a great veteran, brain to pick. Nothing against Liam Hendricks, but like, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be there healthy throughout the entire season. I hope he is.
I will say, like, I'd make Slayton the closer and still sign David Robertson anyway, because he's just a useful piece to have.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, why not, man?
Yeah, if something goes sideways, then he's there.
I would. I don't think they're gonna, but I would. If he's out there still. Why
but didn't
not?
they say they were going to improve the bullpen? What after signing Bregman, they said that was like the last. They wanted a right-handed hitting infielder.
Yeah,
and they want to improve the bullpen.
Outfielder. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Before they signed Bregman, those were the two goals. You did one. Way to go, guys. I don't
know. Do they believe in Matt Moore? Do they believe in Ottavino? I mean, I know it's silly for us to talk about, but it's
who would you rather have?
No, I know
Matt Moore.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
You want
feed me Matt Moore. Like, come on. I didn't even know he still played the game of baseball professionally until we signed him. I forgot
by the way, guys, Boston Strong told us to watch out for him to be a starting an opportunity to have some starts.
You just had to throw that in there. Just had to throw that in there.
I mean, what the fuck are we doing? What the actual fuck are we doing here?
Matt Moore
to start. He hasn't had a full slate of starts since 2017. He hasn't had more than, I think, 7 starts since 2020 or some shit. And he's in consideration to start. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. They'll be going down Josh Winkowski before
How is he
getting
still
starts.
here? How is Josh Winkowski still here?
He's not
No
gonna be
one
here
wants
for
his
long,
ass,
man.
bro. Like,
He's not going to be here for long.
he's
not gonna
terrible,
be
dude.
fun.
He's
Yeah.
so bad.
He's
Ed keeps pushing back and saying like, no, he's okay. No, he sucks. Actually, he's just bad.
Hogdale, how's MLB The Show? It's a good game.
It's fun,
Yeah.
man. I'm having a really good time with it. I've been having fun streaming it. The gameplay is just extremely buttery smooth this year. It's been a good time. I love the ambush hitting. I'm glad I skipped the show last year. Sounds like I skipped a dog shit version of the game or just
it wasn't that good. Yeah.
And 25 is been fun so far. I've been having a good time grinding out some Diamond Dynasty and some shit.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna get it in a week or two. I'm just wait. I usually wait because they like to come out with patches and improve the game in the first couple weeks. And then, once everybody's kind of settled and the servers are a little better, then I'll probably jump in and get a late start.
I don't know if it's like average bitching, like about like exit velocities. Some people but saying like they think they're a tad low on perfects.
Yeah.
So maybe they might tweak that before release. I don't know.
Yeah, reward good hitting.
As you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the fucking Yankees suck, huh?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah.
They're horrendous. Brady?
Their depth chart is so staggeringly bad.
It's horrible.
It's just like if they are an Aaron Judge injury. I mean, like, listen to who would be in that lineup if there is no Aaron Judge. Okay.
Yeah.
They would have catcher Austin Wells.
All right.
Everyone fears him. They fear him. They would have a 105-year-old first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. Okay. Known rock star Jazz Chisholm at second. The always terrifying Anthony Volpe at shortstop. Third base, you could pick whether it's Osvaldo Cabrera or Oswald Peraza. They're the same person. I'm convinced they're the exact same person. Thank you. Let them know. Say it proud.
For the audio listeners, I just pulled up the Chinese national anthem.
This whole team is full of fucking bums.
Jason Dominguez, Cody Bellinger, who I think will have a good year there.
Come on, dude. Spencer Jones and his 40% strikeout rate at AAA.
Yeah.
That dude's a major league caliber ball player, man.
Cody Bellinger is pretty much tall Verdugo. Okay, that's pretty much all he is. He put up a fucking 7-something OPS last year. Okay, and played pretty good defense. Who does that remind you of? Gee, I wonder.
Paul Alex Verdugo is the fucking funniest thing.
Yeah, who, by the way, has not signed yet. So that's fucking awesome. Congratulations, Alex.
He's just waiting for the right fit. You know what I mean? He's
yeah. He's brushing up on his fucking Pyongyang. Yeah.
Their team stinks. Like their team really
bad.
I can't wait. Like after the number 5, like their lineup 6 through 9 it's spring training. They have a spring training lineup.
6? You start at 6 in a spring training? I think after Judge's fucking spring training, bro.
All right, what's
dog shit?
What's their lineup though? It's Austin Wells.
Well,
right?
All right. Let me look this up real quick.
Because I saw this the other day. I was like, that's really bad. Like it's really, really bad.
Let's see. I can look this
give
up.
me a little
Genuinely, if Aaron Judge goes down, like you could look at the Yankees lineup and the Shanghai Sharks starting lineup and be like, yeah, that's comparable.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So here's their projected lineup. Please, right. This is 1 through 9. Leading off is Austin Wells. Aaron Judge is hitting second, right? Which is, I think, already a mistake, but whatever. This is still gonna be the players. They might not be in this order. Cody Bellinger is third. Paul Goldschmidt is your cleanup. 37-year-old Paul.
Wait, you've already lost me.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
This is what Fangraph
says. Cody Bellinger, who again, I'm not saying he's gonna be terrible. I think he might be okay. I think he'll be a good bat there in that fit. But he's the protection for Aaron Judge.
Scary.
Yeah. Scary.
So I just have to confirm this is Cody Bellinger, not years ago when he had that sick year with the Dodgers, not that version.
No. This is I would say right now he has a ceiling of like an 820 OPS. I think that's not barring. Okay, so here, projections are right next to this. It says 114 WRC plus for the year. Just for comparison's sake, Yoshida had a 112 WRC plus last year. So pretty much Yoshida is protecting.
So
Aaron Judge.
Yoshida is okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right. That's your number
yeah.
3. Who's your number 4?
Goldschmidt, 37-year-old
No, seriously,
Goldschmidt
stop.
is
Stop-
your
stop
number.
joking around.
That's what Ross. That's what Fangraph said.
Not even DH Ben Rice in the fucking cleanup spot.
No, he's no, absolutely not.
Put
And
some
then
respect on Paul Goldschmidt's name. That man was here in 1854, right?
Paul Goldschmidt's probably going to be a Hall of Famer, but like he's just old. He's just really old. He's just not himself anymore.
Yeah, they love old first basemen. They love it.
Oh,
They do.
Like they got to be like very far beyond their peak. Like it's the same deal. Like, hey, oh, Anthony Rizzo's gone. Let's get right-handed Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah. They always get these guys when it's way too late. Teixeira was their last really, really good first baseman, unfortunately. But
That's true.
Number 5 hitter is Jazz. Again,
Okay, that's a good player. I like Jazz.
he's okay, I guess.
He's fine.
He doesn't fit on the Yankees. He's got too much aura.
If he's hitting 8th, 7th, or 8th, that's a good lineup. He's hitting 5th, that's a bad lineup.
Yeah.
Yep. This
number 6
really
is Volpshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Man, he's your number 6 hitter, dude. Fuck. He's got to be your 8 or 9.
Number 7 is Jason Dominguez, who? He's probably going to start the year in AAA, man. Okay.
I can't catch a fucking fly ball in left field.
Yeah.
Who did you say? Who was it?
Ass Dominguez.
Who?
Jason.
I never heard of this guy.
Yeah, Jas on Dominguez.
Yeah. And then your 8 is your DH, Ben Rice.
Hey.
Who is projected to have a 113 WRC plus, which is pretty much the same as Cody Bellinger, which is a little fucking crazy, I think. And your number 9 hitter is Oswaldo Cabrera.
So your lineup.
I hate Oswaldo Cabrera and his dumb fucking face so much.
He's
so
horrendous.
basically, your 4 through 9 sucks.
It's horrible.
It's bad.
It's horrible. Your 4 through 9 is just a fucking toss up. And by the way, they may have the worst bench I've ever seen. Two of their right now, I don't know. This is just a projected bench from Fangraphs. So it says right here their bench is NRI Alex Jackson, NRI Dominic Smith, and Oswald Peraza and Trent Grisham.
He sucks too.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
It's so bad, man. It's
bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. So just reading down the projections for the WRC.
They went to the World Series last year, man.
I feel like Juan Soto.
They are a Reese McGuire signing away from just really solidifying that bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or who's the guy we got last year? Danny Jansen.
Oh
yeah.
Danny Jansen, man.
Yep.
Here's their projected WRC pluses just right down the line. So I'm just going to take out Aaron Judge, 177. He could definitely hit that for sure. These are the rest of the WRC pluses: 106, 114, 117, 116, 101, 113, 113, 97. That's mid at best.
So many of those are so fucking generous too. Like holy shit, they're so generous.
Yeah. Volpe hitting 101. Rotation. Oh, you want rotation? I'll give you rotation. All right. So their opening day starter is Carlos Rodon. Okay.
Why?
he's terrible. He's not good.
They're really just playing nice. They want to. They're like, we know it's not going to happen this year. We're just not Max Fried.
Number 2 is Max Fried, who could have a good year.
He's good.
Who could have a good year if he stays healthy, and that's a big if for Max Fried, man. He had issues last year with his elbow and forearm and whatever else.
It was barking.
It was barking. It was barking for sure.
They like Tommy John surgeries there. They do.
SP3 Marcus Stroman. Great.
Wait,
they were actively trying to get rid of him a month ago.
Yeah.
So 4 weeks ago, they were like, "Get out of here, kid. We don't need you." Right. And now they're like, "You're our number 3."
Yeah. Fucking yikes, dude. Holy shit.
And then number 4 is Clark Schmidt. Again,
I like Clark Schmidt. I like Clark Schmidt.
He's fine, I guess, as a number 4.
I need to share with you what Yankee fans locally here in the great state of New York refer to Clark Schmidt as.
Clark Schmidt.
Clark Schmidt is correct. That shows you how much the average legitimate Yankee fan feels about Clark Schmidt. Yep.
And then the SP5.
That's the Cooper Cresswell.
Yeah, of course. Yep. SP5 is Will Warren.
And they're trying to gas him up.
That's not a real name.
Oh yeah,
it's like the meme of like the gas can like trying to fill up the bicycle. It's like he's trying to gas it up. Yeah.
He's not real.
No, man. Come on.
Just reading down the projected ERAs, and I don't put any credence into projections, but I'm just going to read them anyways.
I'll tell you if they're real.
So just reading down just from Carlos Rodon being the first.
Yep.
ERAs 4.01, 3.42, 4.44, 4 even, and 4.27. And then K per nines. The highest person projected to have a K per nine in the rotation right now is Carlos Rodon at 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say because fucking Freed doesn't strike dudes out. That's just not his.
Yeah.
That's not his forte. He's a
and
true
they're gonna walk a ton of fucking guys. I don't know. I mean anything could happen, but it's not looking good.
If
and
Judge goes down, they're omega fucked. Like
Yep.
genuinely.
Yep.
Aaron Judge is gonna easily be a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest hitters of all time. He's truly unbelievable. He can carry a lineup in a way that a lot of players can't do it.
Yeah.
If he gets hurt, they're fucked.
He's gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
Clarify? Can we just say one of the greatest hitters of any player during the regular season? Can we just make sure that we put that caveat in there because maybe you didn't watch the postseason this past year? But,
my TV reception. Yeah.
He sucks in the playoffs.
That's
horrible.
Reeks.
Horrible.
No Freddie Freeman in the playoff. That's for sure.
No. So I saw a video yesterday on TikTok of some baseball account, and they're projecting the Yankees to win 93 games this season.
No,
I mean,
not a fucking chance.
No.
No, I'll take that bet.
I can see maybe winning 90 if everything goes right. To me, I like 88 sounds about right.
80. I don't know, man.
If Judge gets hurt, it's like fucking 80. They're going to be a losing.
Yeah. If there was ever a time that you can pitch around a player, this is the year.
Yeah.
Why would you give anything for Judge?
Yeah, before you had Juan Soto paired up with him, man.
Now Cody Bellinger, what did he hit? Like 12 homers last year? Like, he's not
I don't know.
He's a nice player. He's not a bad player, but he should not be hitting where he is in that lineup. You know what I mean? Like, I still think he's going to perform well in that ballpark for him, but that lineup stinks.
It's horrible.
Hate to see it. You really just hate to see it.
Their bullpen can be pretty good. I will give them that. They do have a pretty decent bullpen.
They churn out arms always. They've got one of the best bullpen developers.
Yeah, and they have Loizaga coming back in probably April or May. Who could be pretty good, I guess. But
Devin Williams will be locking shit down. Luke Weaver's really good.
But again, the problem is we've seen this with a bad rotation last year, or a pretty mid rotation last year, and a bad rotation the year before. When your guys can't go 5-6 innings almost like on a regular basis, you burn out that bullpen, and that bullpen's going to get fucking burnt out quick.
Yeah,
hate to see it. You really?
Yeah.
do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, like how like the Yankees over the last like year or two, like they just kind of like evaporated all of their like real pitching depth. Like it all is somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like Michael King got sent over in the Juan Soto trade. They sent over Nestor in the fucking Devin Williams trade.
Yep.
Clay Holmes is going to be a starter this year. He walked in free agency. I mean,
Dick Fitz.
Dick Fitz, they gave away for nothing.
Right. But like you have a great bullpen, but if you have a let's be honest, that rotation as currently constructed is mid at best, right?
I think it's best case scenario is like 14th best rotation in the league, 13th,
right.
14th.
So you have this great bullpen, but if the relievers come in and you're down 4-2 because the offense sucks, what does it matter?
Yeah. I don't know.
You just hate to see it. You hate to see him take such a big step backwards in such a short period of time. There's never been a player who left a team that killed such vibes like with Juan Soto leaving and nothing in return. Like they're a hamstring away from just being a spring training lineup.
Yep.
That's it. You just hate to see it.
I think the first series against them is June 13, 14, 15, which is late again. Mm-hmm. Or wait, am I reading that wrong? Hold on.
I need Campbell and Anthony to be up by then because I need to see the Yankee killer in them because every homegrown Red Sox player has it. All of them do.
Yeah.
I want to see Roman Anthony, hitting in Yankee Stadium. It's going to hit differently because
June 6th, 7th, and 8th is the first series in the Bronx.
Happy.
Yeah,
there will be blood. There will be blood.
Yeah, it's not going to be no blood. Well, there'll be blood for them, but come on. But yeah. anything else, guys?
I just wanted to point one thing. This is episode 98. Okay.
You're
So I'm a numbers guy. I had to do a little research. Just no player in the history of the Boston Red Sox has ever worn number 98.
Mhm.
Then let's go a little step further. According to AI, right? Whatever, because, I have to use that. Only one player in the history of Major League Baseball has worn 98 in a Major League game.
Really?
Onelkel Garcia. I can't, who fucking knows, who played with the Dodgers from in 2013 and the Royals in 2017. That's it. No one else has ever worn 98 in a game, according to something that you probably can't believe. But I just thought it was interesting. So,
That is interesting.
Yep, interesting. I thought maybe Julian Tavares was 98. I have no idea with the Red Sox. I could be totally wrong on that one.
Players who wore 98. There's 4 guys.
So
Here,
AI
it
was wrong.
says, yeah. Which happens. Baseball Reference, but you're not too far off. There's only 4 guys in the history of
That's crazy.
baseball.
can't believe you're
That
telling me
is-
that
that is
AI
crazy.
was incorrect and faulty. I can't believe that.
3
I
of them
never
were
seen it
Yankees
coming.
players.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like the guy you said, Onelki Garcia for the Dodgers.
He was great.
Yep. And then Hoy Park, Randy Vasquez.
Randy Vasquez. Yeah.
And speaking of Yankees pitchers, Will Warren is number 98.
Oh,
So there you go. Yeah.
Will, he's not a real person, Warren. Got it.
Nope.
Real.
Nope.
All
So,
right.
All right.
Well, boys, it was a good episode. We vibed. We chilled. Prediction show next week, motherfuckers. So tune in. It's going to be a fun time. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Orbit, listening to this episode, installment even of Pod by the River. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Pod by the River. Follow the boys. We're getting the fuck out of here. All of you have yourselves a fantastic day, night, morning, whenever the fuck you're listening to this, and goodbye.
Bye.
Your mother.